Okay. Hoş. Demak, assalomu alaykum hurmatli qatnashchilar. Hello everybody. This is Back. So we're gonna in some like 5 minutes, I guess. I will wait to join others, and until then, I will set up my presentation for you, and we will begin after about like 5 minutes. So yeah, thanks for joining us. So I promise today you're gonna have a very beneficial and informative information and insights and recommendations for studying in Germany. So let me. Can you just write to the comments section that my voice and video is in good quality? Let me know. Okay, I guess it's good. So. Mhm. I should share this one. So, yep. I guess it's quite visible to you. Let me know. Just write in the comments. Is it visible, the presentation? Okay. 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 Thank you. Thank you so much. So, okay. One more time. Thank you for joining us. Just quickly, let me introduce myself. My name is Kwon, or maybe I can just click here. Yep. So, theme topic. Our topic will be your next destination, educational destination. It could be the Germany. So we're going to talk about Germany as a study institution. I mean, the study country for different phases of education, including bachelor's, master's, or just foundation. So, firstly, let me introduce myself and who I am. I'm a DAT scholarship holder for 2024 Germany, and besides that, I'm currently residing in Germany, Bavaria, and currently a working student in legal and international compliance group, Allianz Technology SE in Munich. And besides that, I'm still continuing my education as an LLM student at University of Regensburg, and I'm a graduate of Tashkent State University. Studied in international law mostly during my studies. So as you see, I'm a kind of not qualified, but lawyer with diploma, let's say, in Uzbekistan. And I'm also top coach, senior mentor, and I have a proven experience in consultancy for education, for and so on. Yeah, just for the clarification, I will try to answer the question at the end of our webinar. So I can see the comments here. Just write your comments or questions in the comment section, and we can come back at the end of the webinar. So, let me move to the next slide then. So, as you see, if you're joining this webinar, you have an idea to study abroad, at least. But maybe you might not sure about your destination. whether it could be the Germany or US or Canada, but I don't know, maybe somewhere abroad. I mean, somewhere in abroad. So I just try to state here the reasons of studying abroad, why so many people try to study abroad, and I'm gonna kind of explain how the Germany fits those criteria or reasons to study. So the very first reason is world class quality. World class quality means that you get the education that fits your needs or fits the international demand, let's say. And Germany offers that quality. Um, but for the quality, Germany has something to offer, which is costs. So you get the elite education for free. Yes, yes, sure. You might have heard about that aspect. Let's say, but I would kind of give a disclaimer: the education is free in public universities. In public universities, it's not completely free, let's say, but it's the country subsidized. So you can just pay a bit of money for the semester contributions. So that's why, but you don't, and you don't have to pay tuition fees in Germany. This is a very first reason. For the career launchpad. For the career launch is something. For example, you are studying abroad. You are studying to become a kind of professional because you have a. I hope you have a great intention to be in a professional, skilled international candidate. Let's say in the global market. So that's why this country, Germany, is start of your career. The beside the German economy is a very big and among top 10 economies in the world, most powerful economies. Now that's why this economy needs a professionals, skilled professionals in all spheres, especially this is a very quite deep demand in the healthcare sector, in STEM fields, and other fields as well. Um, for the next reason, the third reason is for the lifestyle. The lifestyle we can include it is traveling. Since Germany is a member of the European Union, you can travel to other Schengen visa countries. And yeah, it's a very, very good opportunity for the nature. You can have you can find a lot of trees, of mountains for hiking, a lot of lakes, beautiful lakes you can find. Especially, I'm a resident in Bavaria, and then there is a couple of lots of lakes you can see. It's very, very amazing, and also the peaceful living. You don't have to, for the weekends, you can just enjoy your lifestyle on the weekends besides studying and work. So that was a reason. As we can move, I will go to the top. Let's say I would say it's your pass to admission. These three tickets include the first is Studienkolleg, the second is Bachelor, the third is Masters. So I'm not sure among the participants in this live stream. I hope we have some members or we students maybe, or or maybe I don't know, someone who is in a gap, let's say. So here you can get the sufficient, or I would say it's not sufficient, but this is more a general information. You can just go to maybe do some research on that, but you can get the information why and which, for let's say, which of these three categories you are especially, let's say, suitable for each one. So the first one is student colleague. Quickly explain what is student colleague. What student colleague is. Student colleague is a, we can say, or this is a kind of synonym of foundation, but it's not a general foundation, not the similar with general foundation courses, because in foundation you learn a general knowledge, but here in student college you already specialize in one of the, I don't know, maybe the fields of the study according to your desire or choice. In student colleagues, you can study. It is kind of replacement. Uh, in Germany, after the school, for example, general high school, you can be a abitur, and after that you can get admitted to the university. This is so-called bachelor degree, let's say. But this period is in Germany it's 12 years. In Uzbekistan, as most people know, it's 11 years. Recently, we had a quick change in legislation that might, after that, after this year, it might be the 11 year, I mean the 12 years, but it's not in power. We are still in 11-year model, school model. So, in order to fulfill those 1 year, it's 11 years plus 1 year is 12 years, and after that you can be eligible to apply for bachelors. So for this 1 year you can be eligible for studying in student colleague. Student colleague lasts 1 year. So during this 1 year you study subjects as well as German language. um, but here we have some nuances. For, as you see in the presentation, the first is languages. Mostly the student colleagues will be in German. So Germany, I mean the certificate for your admission to study. Firstly, you need the German language certificate, at least B1 or B2 for some fields of studies, for example, medicine, T1 degree. But you can also find sometimes in English, but it's merely for private student colleagues. So that's why I try to learn language first of all. The second one is requirements. For the requirements, and let's say what kind of requirements fit in order to study in student college. The first requirement is course profile. I mean the types of courses for the field of choice or according to your desire and ability. So the goal, it might be a business, for example. It might be a medicine, or it might be IT sphere, or it might be, let's say, some other spheres, law including, for example, or economics. For these degrees uh, you should choose this degree before studying it. For example, you should choose a couple of courses. We have V course, we have T course, we have G course. For each stands for each degree. I mean the course, or for example the study and field of study, let's say. So that's why you should choose according to your abilities as well. For example, you want to study, for example, economics. Then you choose a V course. And the goal of at the end of the student college is to pass the Feststellungsprüfung, a so-called FSP. FSP. This is exam that if you pass this exam, you allows this exam allows some nuances here. It's so to explain in this webinar. So if you want, you can just find it a more, or we can have another webinar for this topic. But until that, you should pass this exam at the end of the student college, and after that, you can be eligible for the bachelor's. So your study program, you studied, you passed the exams during the 1 year period, and after that, at the final exam, you should pass, and then you have a certificate for your bachelor's. And how to apply? How to apply is you should apply for the college, like public student colleges, directly to the sites, like official websites, or via University. University is a special platform applications are from international say. But before, you should have a entrance exam. So that's why you should pass this exam. I think this exam will be for two subjects. The first is German language. The second is mathematics. Yeah. So this is more general information about student colleague. Then we can move to the next one. The next one is bachelors. More people interested in I think in my case as well, as I heard, more people are interested in studying bachelors specifically in Germany, as some people choosing, for example, US for the bachelor studies. And what kind of nuances or the places that we should take into account? Let's move. So the first one is languages. Bachelor study programs are in English, you can find, or in German, but it depends on the study program and offers, let's say. So that's why I would go for merely, let's say, 70% of the study programs are in German, and others are in English. For English, they demand the certificate B2 or C1, or for German, still the C1 certificate are most common. But sometimes they might get or accept the German B2 certificate as well. But that's a rare cases. So for the requirements, this pass is for you if you have already completed um, attention 1 or 2 years at accredited university in Uzbekistan. Let's say you are now a 1 year, first year or second year student, and you want to study a bachelor in Germany, or more people come to me. So yeah, so yeah, and then oh, I think it's the connection problem. Let me know if I'm visible and audible, well audible. Okay, I think I am. I'm good. So, and for requirements, as I mentioned, you should be a first or second year student. You get your transcripts and directly apply to the university. I mean, the bachelor program. It's whether through university or uni assist. So, but before that, you should be careful that the university you are studying or you studied must be a hash plus on Anabin. This is or this is a kind of I don't know, the organization, the German recognition database, so called. And you must apply for the same subject you study back home. So, for example, let's say you studied marketing in Uzbekistan, or you studied business, or you studied management, or you studied economics, let's say, and you want to study medicine or law in Germany. That's not possible, unfortunately, because it's a subject, so-called subject restricted admission. So the studies that you had in Uzbekistan, you can continue here, but you start from early, like a first year as a bachelor. But the study subject the same. So how to apply? Firstly, you should apply either directly to the university or via Unisys. So yeah. So um I think it's good. I think it's good. Um okay, 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay. Um we will continue. So the next one and the last one we say we move to the masters. So the for the masters, we have a little change and better opportunities, I would say, for those who don't know German, or for those who wants to study abroad but don't have money, or I don't know, for the tuition fees it's quite hard for someone. Then Germany is mostly, like most master's programs are in English. They accept B2 or C1 certificates, or you can either find German, the programs that are in German. But it as well, again, depends on the field of study programs. But we have some requirements here. Um, for your masters, must be in the same field as your bachelor's. Why? Because we have some certain rules here. You might change your field, but programs ask prior degree with certain number of credits. Um, Therefore, it must be consecutive. For example, you graduated with, mm, let's say Tashkent State University of Law. You studied law, and after that, you might, mm, I don't know, getting a degree, a master's degree in management. But for some reasons, it's not possible. The first reason is they check your prior university degree, and the credits, number of credits should be the same for the programs they demanded. If those credits or a prior experience, I mean the prior knowledge or prior degree is not suitable for them, then they can automatically reject your application. uh, so that's why, like, technically you can apply, but they might reject your application, even even looking at the documents, not at the results. So that's why it must be consecutive. Whether you study what you study in bachelor's, then you should study the same subject in master's. Next one is recognized bachelor degree. As I mentioned earlier, again, check Anabin H plus. It must be a H plus. So that means is that university diploma is recognized in Germany. If that would be H minus, then that's not unfortunately. The next one is high GPA. Some master programs, or many master programs I wrote here, have a NC, numerous clauses. So that means they have a admission restricted program, and they accept according to the high GPA and performances, let's say achievements. So in that regard, your grades matter. And also that stuff also relevant, could might be relevant for the programs ranking, I would say, because, for example, highly demand programs are 100% and get a better result, according to a better result, because they have a couple of applications, and many applications they can choose among them. But for others, they might not eligible. For example, not admission restricted. That's why if you apply, you can get admitted. So the next one is acts credits. As I mentioned also before, they will check your transcript from your university, and you may need a certain number of credits in specific modules for admission. That's so. The last topic is you can apply either directly to the university or via union system. That's a pretty much clear. What kind of documents for all these three types of education they ask? And um, it's the obvious, like for example, for masters, they ask the CV, motivational letter, your transcript, I mean, the degree certificate. If you are a last year student, then you can submit the transcripts and others, kind of recommendation letter, for example. But for these documents, we uh, can concentrate on further webinars, because it's a quite big topic. So yeah, and other important factors. We should talk about that. For example, you have heard from other colleagues, or from other, I don't know, some relatives or friends, uh, you can hear that university is free, okay, but you need some money for your bank account or other stuff. So I am going to give a quick explanation on that matter. So the first is UniAssist. UniAssist is a kind of common app for the US universities or UK, but it is directly works with universities. It's not the, for example, let's say two functions they have. The first function is they can accept your application and give how to say, they check the eligibility criteria, whether you are eligible or not. Okay, first of all, if you are not eligible, they can send, even not sending to university, they can reject your application. They might reject. But the second function is to sending your application to universities directly. You shouldn't send to yourself, but UniAssist do it instead of you. That's why UniAssist is a important factor that you should consider and learn about it. The second one is money, blocked account, so-called. This is Sperkonto, and Sperkonto works in a, like this way. For example, you got an admission, okay, you don't have to pay the tuition fees because we mentioned it's a free university unless they have stated some tuition fees. They might, in some public universities, they might that might have a tuition fees. That's why be careful and check it. And after that, you have an admission, you have other documents. You will go to the visa, which is the next one. Because for Germany, you should have a visa. For the student visa, national visa, you apply. And for that one, it is not a university criteria, I mean, university requirement, but it's the government requirement to have a blocked account to enter the country and to leave the country as a student. Why? Because your main mission or your main goal is to study, not to work. During your studies you should have some income source that you can live on, that like relying on that. That's why this is kind of real reason behind it. You should have the money to spend on living, your rent, your, I don't know, student dormitory, your personal needs, other stuff during your study period. For example, if your study period are 2 years or 1 year, then you can spend on that money. Typically, this amount overall they ask for 1 year for the blocked account. It's around 12,000 euros. So for each month, it will be around 1,000 euros for spendings. They calculate it, and after coming to the Germany, they can use or you can use those money during this 1 month period. You can get those money for each month around 1,000 euros, and you can spend it. But if you can find another job, you can still get this salary and spending it. It's just it's a kind of, it's a pillow, like financial pillow for you. That's why this is an important factor to take into account. So for the visa and deadlines, we can talk about that. The visa, you should have another set of documents for submitting. It's very difficult, I would say, to get a visa appointment. That's why I would recommend to get the appointment in visa, like office, uh, earlier than admission date. For example, if your admission, we didn't talk about the deadlines. For the deadlines of master or bachelor, other stuff, the latest deadline for the winter semester starting from October, that would be the July 15th. And before the summer semester, it's January 15th at the latest deadline. But it might, some universities have an earlier deadline. For example, nowadays we have a deadline for some universities until, let's say, November, end of November, or 15th of November or December. They might have. So better to check the university site that you want to apply or other stuff. So yeah, and I think that's the pretty much all that I wanted to mention. And to stop it, I think we can go to the QA session. So just write your questions, whether understandable or not understandable, or your personal questions in the comments section, and I'll try to answer. So I will go to the first comments. So so okay. Thank you. In Germany right now? Yeah, I'm in Germany right now. How you win from that? Okay. I did win 2 years ago. I'm sorry, it's 1 year ago, but typically I applied 2023. That's why it's 2 years ago. I'm not sure. I might have a good background, let's say, and also I had a very good guidance through the application process. That's the reason, but it's not quite easy to state my success. But yeah, it was very good. Uh, is that like a full ride scholarship? Yes, it's a full ride scholarship. Let me mention how like a full ride or fully funded. Let's say full ride, mostly commonly used for US or UK countries, or for, let's say, so-called colleges. It's not about masters. So as I'm studying masters, I have a fully funded scholarship. Fully funded means I have a scholarship, monthly scholarship. I got funded, or I got covered my flight tickets to Germany. I got funded for my this insurance stuff. We have a mandatory insurance in Germany, and other expenses. For example, I got a free language course in Germany and other stuff, but other kind of financial stuff included in that one. So yeah, we can say it's a kind of full ride scholarship. So I'm currently studying Uzbek University as a freshman student, trying to pursue further third-year bachelor degree in Germany. At what extent do you think to get possible full scholarship? Okay, for bachelors, unfortunately, you cannot find the. It's, yeah, it might have, but I'm not sure. But it's very rare to find fully funded scholarships who are which are in English. Yeah, you can find the fully funded scholarship, but you should have a German language knowledge, preferably B2 and C1. Yeah, if you have C1, that's very above average. But you have B1 or B2, you can still apply and find some scholarship. For example, we have a scholarship for Friedrich Ebert, Konrad Adenauer. This is for German speaking. You should have a German certificate, or even um, yeah, for German. But for English, I personally don't know exactly which types of scholarships they accept the application in English. I know some DAP scholarships, but it's for the summer courses for learning German. It's not for bachelors. So yeah, I would say that. Can four APs that are relevant to my major AP, I don't know, IPs that are relevant to my major be alternative to IB to avoid student colleague? Okay. Yeah, I got this. Um, I honestly I didn't understand for APS, but for IB it's the international diploma. I know this. I know this, but I think according to my research and my understanding, it's not relevant, not alternative, or cannot replace for IB diploma. So that's why you should have still have a chance, or still have a demand of getting this 1 year, fulfill those 1 year gap. I would suggest to use that, and um, that site, that.d, to analyze your choice. You can just get chose the answers, like answer to to the questions they ask, and at the end, it will give you a very good understanding in which level you are. I will just write here in the comments. You can just go and search your entry requirements. Let's say dot.t. Yeah, check it. And okay, the next question, I guess, is there any scholarships for Studienkolleg? No, it's unfortunately not possible. But we have in Germany, they have a monthly the Deutschlandstipendium or this kind of scholarship they have, but it's not a fully funded scholarship. It's like a monthly scholarship around 300 euros or 400 euros, but it's not a fully funded. You can apply even after you can apply if you are already studying here, not beforehand. Okay, I think my network is okay right now. Yeah, I hope. Can I avoid Studienkolleg if my school has 12 years of education? Oh, that's quite interesting. Um, we I don't know. Like personally, I don't know some schools that they have a 12-year education. But if you have a 12-year education, yeah, you can apply to directly to the bachelor's, and uni assist for most cases, and they can just evaluate your case. If your case is okay and 12 years is accepted, then no problem. But uh, I'm not sure, like, because I haven't heard about 12-year education in Uzbekistan. It's if you did study in another country, then it's okay, but in Uzbekistan case, it's not possible, unfortunately. So if you can afford, if cannot afford to live alone when studying in student college, how can I find a host family? Also, what is the best common way of living while in student college? Because many will be around 17. Okay, yeah, it's a very nice question and a very nice concern. The first stuff, what kind of ways of living? The first option is university dormitories. Like student colleagues is under the university, and they kind of responsible managing within the university. So that's why you can apply to the university dormitory before your studies. If you are lucky enough, you can get those room, and you can leave it. And the next option is, if you cannot find it, then you can rent a VG. That is the commonly format in German. So if it's a one house, and you can rent one room in those house, and you can share other facilities with other those other members in the house. For example, that might 3 or 4 people, even 2 people can live, or two, it's a rare case, but it's a 4, 5, or 3 people can share one apartment, and they can live in one room, but share other facilities. In that case, you can just only pay money for those one room. And the next one is you can share the room with other, for example, people, Uzbek students. We have some groups, Telegram groups, or Facebook groups. You can just type in, and you can share one apartment, one whole apartment. Maybe it could be a two room or 3 room apartment. You can share with other people and students. And otherwise, yeah, this is the options that you can consider, I would suggest. And okay, can I avoid student college if my school has 12-year education? I think I have answered those questions. That question, sorry. Which field of law have you chosen, and is it in English or German? Okay, I study in English. I have some subjects in German, but we have a separate. But I chose the English version. So I study German and comparative law. It has some aspects in European law, international law, some arbitration as well, like mostly international law. And yeah, Is there any Uzbek communities for bachelor degree students? Um, I think yes, but I myself I'm not in those communities. I have only communities in the Uzbeks who are already studying masters, who are in a working field. I mean the working phase. So yeah, it might. Yeah, of course. I think it might. There is. For masters, how much average GPA should be out of 4 or 5? I would suggest to have a GPA above 4 out of 5. Why? In percentage format, it could be around 80%. If you have a GPA above 80%, you have a very good chances to get admitted. But if it's like the higher it is, the more chances you have. So it's up to you. But I would suggest, even if you have a less GPA, let's say you have 3.8 or 3.9 out of 5, then still okay. I would suggest to try and apply. Maybe you can get in. No one knows. But according to my personal opinion, it might like it would be good if you have above 4. And are there any firms for blocked account? I mean, I pay them some money, then they will give me the money for putting blocked account. Oh, it's not possible. Because there is a this kind of because stuff. For example, I'm not sure about other countries. For Germany, it's very strict. If you put those money in the blocked account, you cannot get after, like, for example, 1 month or ten days. It's not possible. Um, it's possible when you came to the Germany. When you come to the Germany, you can get those money in a monthly installment. So yeah, but personally,